Okay, beautiful. Right. Okay, so what we're going to have a look at today is I'm going to show you and Michaela says daily. Okay, so I'm going to show you a spreadsheet that really has been worked on for the last, I would say, 16, 17 years. Okay. This spreadsheet really started as a really simple, perhaps 6 or 7 liner, and has now grown, and you can make it as complicated or as simple as you want to. The point of what I'm going to show you today is really that we need to get our numbers on a daily basis, okay? So we need to be, this view of mine keeps changing. Sorry, everybody. So you need to get certain information on a daily basis to be able to tell you in which direction to steer. So imagine that you're on a ship and you're sailing a ship. That's really what I'd like you to imagine. And as you know, the captain of the ship relies on very important information to know where to steer the ship. A, to get it to its destination, but very importantly is the B, is to avoid any dangers and pitfalls that they may encounter at sea along the way. So I want you to look at what I'm going to show you today as your guider. So you want to get to an end result. This information that you get daily will guide you on a daily basis. But most importantly, it's going to flag where are the issues that need to be worked on now, and what are you doing well that you can say, well done, this is going great, just build on it. So why don't I rely on monthly figures? And why don't I only look at this sheet on a monthly basis? And I'll tell you why. Because sometimes a month is too late to be able to repair any damage. So I want you to imagine now the ship has hit I don't know, iceberg, whatever ships hit in the sea, right? And if it waits too long to get it fixed, it doesn't make it to its destination. So same goes with your business. You hit a little roadblock, okay? And of course, as a business owner, you are intuitive. You know, or something doesn't feel right. But what's important is, what is that something? Is it a gut feel? Now, this information that you get is going to tell you what that something is. It's going to say to you, oh my word, your number of guests has dropped, your number of clients. Or it's going to say, your average docket value, look, it started at 1.5, it's now gone down to 700 Rand. Then you know, okay, let's investigate why my average docket value has gone down. So whenever I take over running a business, a spa or salon business, I always say that I have like the secret weapon that I go in with. And one of my 5 things that I do, because there's 5 things that I don't waste time, that I do and I implement almost immediately. And what I'm going to show you today is one of those 5. And that's how powerful it is, because it gives me daily information on how to make decisions to run that business better, okay? So before I show you the sheet, I want to get all the talking out of the way. What are going to be your challenges with this sheet that I'm going to show you? I'll tell you what they're going to be. A is the excuses that either you or your manager come up with why you don't have time to do it on a daily basis. That is going to be your biggest challenge. Because I want to tell you that everywhere that we've implemented this, within the first week, the excuses start. Oh, I didn't have time. Oh, my word, I hate to do this. Oh, my word, that. So the one thing that you have to sort out before you even start on this journey is to say, this is going to be done every single morning. First thing, 0 excuses. So what I recommend, there's one spa, they're actually online. We're going to chat to the manager a little bit later. They actually do theirs the night before. Then it's done. Get sent. By the morning comes, I open it. I know what to do. I know what to recommend. And if there are any problems to flag. Okay. Then we have another one of our spas who does it in the morning. I've got a great idea for everybody, which is that this sheet gets done with your first morning's cup of coffee, whether it's you who does it or a team member who does it. It really isn't difficult. You need to pull information from your software system, or if you're running a manual set of books, you're going to pull information from your books, from what you've written down. Okay. So I think that is actually the only challenge that you're going to have when it comes to this sheet, is overcoming and saying that you're not going to accept the excuses, that you're actually going to get this sheet done. You're going to fill it in, and you'll see after it becomes habit, it almost becomes like, okay, well, my day gets started. I'm doing my analysis first, and then I'll move on with everything else. Okay, so it's pretty much like when a therapist preps for her treatment, does she sit there thinking about how she's going to prep, or does she just prep? She sees what she's got and she preps, right? Pretty much like this sheet that I'm going to show you now. You're going to know automatically, let me go, let me get it done. Okay, right, let me share screen, and I'm sure afterwards you might have some questions to ask me, which I will help you afterwards. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? Yes. Okay. So what you see in front of you is an Excel spreadsheet. So the only other little things that you might need to overcome is not filling in the blocks that have a formula, because that seems to be another one of the challenges that people have. So at the top over here, it says only fill in the red text lines. So can you see here is black text? You don't fill in this line. Red text, you fill in. Okay. All this black text here, you don't fill in. You don't fill in. You don't fill in. Red text, you do fill in. I'm going to go down the sheet with you one by one so that you know what we're looking at. Okay. The reason this is highlighted in yellow is because that is the main place that you want your eyes to go to every single day, which is your total revenue versus your targets, the percentage that you've reached, and your rand value over and under. Okay, so that's your numbers, your daily little numbers. So sort of your eyes go there first, and then you start to track down the sheet, and I'll tell you what we're looking at. So I just want to show you other things in the sheet, okay? Can you see my other sheet that's come up now called step by step? Okay, you can make this as big as you need to. Okay, so here we go, step by step instructions. So at the beginning of a month, you're going to insert your total revenue targets, insert the number of clients, break down the target against the trading days, daily, what you're going to be doing daily, weekly, and monthly. Okay, so that's highlighted there for you. So at the beginning of the month, you're going to come here, and you're not going to write in the blue cells, only the red blocks, right? So this is very simple. You're going to write, what is your target? I have set this, let me make this bigger. My eyes are struggling here. There we go. Oh, now we can see. This, I have made this sparse target 650,000, okay? I have decided and chosen to do a 70-30 split. So 70% services, 30% retail. This block here you can change as well. Okay. You just must not touch these blue blocks. Okay. This is populated to be used in any country. So you're going to put what the relevant tax is in the country that you're in. And underneath that, you're going to put in how many stations, if I can call it, you have that can generate revenue, that need a therapist, right? So you've got 4 treatment rooms and 4 money stations. This particular place has this. Okay. Then you're going to put in how many days of the month you trade. I've said 31 days. And then this so let me show you here. I'm going to change this to 30 days. And watch how it's going to change my daily target. And it's gone up to 21,666. Okay. All right. Is that clear, everybody? That's pretty simple, right? So you do that at the beginning of every month. You then go to this sheet, and at the beginning of every month, at the top here, can you see where it says 1st of May, Wednesday? So it will take you 10 minutes at the beginning of the month. You're going to put the 1st, the 2nd, and what day in the week it is, a Wednesday, Thursday. So this one is populated ready for the month of May. So you'll just populate the top so that your dates follow and you can see what it is that you're looking at. Okay. All right. So let me do the 2nd of May with you so that you can see what information we're looking for. I'm going to make this sheet slightly bigger. Can everybody see now? Better? Okay. So the 1st of May I had already done. I just want to do I want to do the 2nd of May so that you can see then what we're comparing it to. Okay. If you don't have a hotel, you're going to simply remove this line. It's not going to do anything to your sheet. You're going to take it away. But let's say I had a hotel and I've got 520 guests that are checked in on this particular day because now we're getting closer to a weekend. It's a Thursday. All right. Total number of clients checked into the spa. If you have a salon, you're going to change that total number of clients checked into the salon. So that's important. How many people walked through my doors today? How many people came in here today? Right. So on the Wednesday, the 1st, we had 21. And on the Thursday, I'm going to say, well, we had 18. Okay. Remember, we don't write anything on a black line. Can you see? So I'm not touching this. I'm going to move down. Number of guests booked for number of hotel guests booked for spa treatments. Right. So if you don't have a hotel, you're taking that line out. So it means one less line for you. But I'm going to say that I had 8 hotel guests today. Right. I'm going to move down here. Can you see as soon as I filled in the 8, what happened here? Told me that 2% of my hotel guests have checked into my spa. And then the number of day visitors is going to be 10 because I had 18. It's obviously going to be 10. Right. So I had 10 day and 8 hotel guests. So before I even move down this list, what information do I already have that tells me something about my business? I just want to see if you guys are following what I look at when I look at this sheet. What is this already telling me about my business? I already have something staring at me in the face here. You can go into the chat box or you can unmute. Let's have a look. Let me go into the chat box. Liz says target. What about it? I'm getting to my target in a minute. Yeah, there we go. Francisco's got it. We know how much we need to make a day. Yes. Work on average spend to meet target. The amount of visitors that have checked in. Yes. Okay. So Francisco has hit the nail on the head. Okay. See what he says there. That my hotel guest capture ratio is very low. So look here. I have 520 people in the hotel. And I've got 8 of those that have come to the spa. That's not great, right? Only 8 out of all 520. So it's telling me opportunity. That's not problem. It's saying opportunity. We'll see later on if there's a problem, okay? But as I go down, we'll see if you flag any problems as I'm filling it in. I just want you to start looking at the logic of what are we looking at. So at this point in time, I can't say that my treatments are too little or my guests are too little. We don't know yet. We'll only know once we know how many therapists are on duty. We don't know yet. Okay. So let's see what information we get as we're going along and what it starts, what story it starts to tell you. Okay. Right. So my treatment revenue for this specific day is 14,500. So you are only going to fill in the including tax column. Whatever you've put as your tax on the sheet afterwards, remember we had a sheet that said how much the tax was. It's going to calculate it automatically here and take your tax away. So you're not touching this excluding tax column ever, okay? And then the reason why I'm getting you to put in the including tax is because that is the information that you're going to get off your system. That's how you're paying your, the excluding tax is how you're going to be paying your commissions. Right, including tax is what customers are paying and what's on your treatment menu. Okay, then retail for this specific day, we did 4,000 Rand. Oh, putting this information in the wrong place. Right. Okay, so look at what it's telling me already. So my first question to you all is, have I made my daily target? No, I haven't. So that's the first thing you can see. I haven't. I've reached 85% of my daily target. So it's not bad, but it's not amazing. Okay. Then what else is telling me? Okay, have a look here because you're not filling anything in these columns. What else are you seeing that is good, bad, neither here nor there? Tell me what else you're seeing without me telling you. I want you to tell me, what information are you getting from this? What information are you getting from this that is very important to you running your business? My word, you're all going to type at the same time. Then I'm going to battle to read it. Spend per client is good. Yes. Okay. So that's a great one. You can see that it's gone from the day before 857 to today, my spend's gone up. So that's good, actually. I've gone up to 1,000 Rand average docket spend. Good. Okay. And then what else? What else do I look at here? My favorite line to look at, actually. Yes, scale, you're right. What target I still have to achieve, correct? Okay. But what could be, what is my favorite thing to look at here? Michaela, Fran, you must know. There we go. Michaela knows because I'm on their case about it every single day. So we're almost at a 30% retail. Fran says retail, yes. Can you see here? We're at 28%. Now that makes me a happy person. So this day, yes, we haven't made targets, but let me tell you, I'm going to sing hallelujah to that 28% because that is brilliant, that ratio. Okay. I also think that the average docket value is not bad. Okay. I'm striving for a 1,500, 1.5 to 1.6, 1.7, 1.8 average docket value. Okay. So it really also depends where your business is. Is it in a hotel? Is it in a city? Is it in the outskirts? And I can give you guidelines as to more or less what is your average docket value that you should be working towards. Okay. So when I look at this, my day doesn't look bad, right? So far, not bad. We were short of 3,000 Rand in our target. Okay, so therapists on duty today, I have 4 again. Okay, so can you see I'm filling this in? So if I had 3, I'd fill in 3. Okay, how many hours, so have a look here, is each therapist available to work? How many working hours do I have from each therapist? It's not saying how many treatments can they do, how many hours of work can they give me? So 8 hours, definitely. You don't fill in the black lines. That means I have 32 hours, treatment hours available. Okay? I only sold 22 hours of treatment this day. Where do I get that information from? My system. It's going to tell me how many treatment hours I sold. Okay? So this isn't revenue that has come from the sauna and the steam room and my facilities. This is revenue that has come from these 4 therapists. Okay. It means I have 10 unsold hours because they had 32 to give me. They've got 10 unsold hours. Treatment hours booked out internally. This is quite important. If I decided to do training today, if I had a meeting that took up my treatment time, if I ran KPIs that took up my treatment time, I would put them in here. But today, I didn't do any. It's a Thursday. I didn't have a meeting. So I'm going to say 0. Okay, which means I used 22 hours. My unsold percentage hours is 31. Okay, so I've got 31% of my total available time that is unsold. Okay. Remember, this you filled in the beginning, so you wouldn't be touching this. You had 4 treatment beds, 4 mani-pedi stations. That means that I've got 64 available hours on those beds, on that bed and that mani station. Okay. Number of hours that are booked on those areas, on those treatment stations, were only 15. Okay, only booked out 15 because the rest, they didn't go to the treatment stations. That means that I've got 23% occupancy of my treatment beds, which isn't great, right? It's telling me I've got a lot more available beds. So what does this say to me without even going further down now? What is the story here telling me? Can anybody try and guess what the story is telling me? So I've got 4 therapists, right? I have sold 22 hours worth of treatments, but my occupancy on my beds is only 23%. What does this say to me? Can anybody guess what this says? Because actually, it's very important what it's telling me, and it's something that needs to be fixed. Otherwise, this business won't grow. So yes, there are a few things here that are obvious. We could do better retail. We could get a better average docket value. But there's something here that would make quite a big difference to this business, given the fact that I've got 23% occupancy of my treatment stations. Can anybody guess what it is? Okay, that the number of hours
ID genote en Swartland. Ja, hier genote ek af wel.
Muted, right? Target hotel guests, yes, but Fran hit the nail on the head. Okay, so I'm just telling you all why Francisco, I should not allow you to answer. Why he's getting this all. It's okay, it's good. You must maybe answer, no problem. Why Francisco's getting all of this, and we're going to chat to him in a minute, is because he's been using this sheet to steer his ship for the last who knows how many years. So he knows exactly what the story is that this tells him. And there it is, that the therapists not occupied to full capacity. Okay. So basically there's 2 things that I could do here, right? I could look at this and say, hold on a second, I don't have enough therapists here because they doing, I've got 31% unsold hours, which is not a lot, okay? A lot of you might think, sure, that is a lot. As soon as we start to analyze, you see, now this tells me go and analyze when were the majority of our bookings. I can assure you that these 4 therapists were probably fully booked in a peak period in this particular spa on this particular day, given the amount of treatment hours that they performed, because they performed a lot of treatment hours. So this says to me, hold on a second, in order for me to use my treatment beds more, I'm going to need to get more therapists. Okay. Makes sense, everyone? All right, upsells. Number of actual treatment units was 15 actual treatments, okay? And my upsells were 4. So my target of upsells, I've set it at 20%. Okay, I think that's pretty good for upsells. And I've achieved today 26%, 26.67%. That tells me, hold on a second, they've done well on upsells today. So if I had changed this and I had said 1 upsell today, look what happens. My upsell percentage is at 6. Immediately it tells me, hold on a second, had I done more upsells, maybe I need to look at my upsell menu and see that we have got more of an offering to upgrade the treatments that are already being booked. This story with a 4 says to me, okay, they're not doing bad. They are maximizing the time that they have with their guests. Okay, then promotion sold at the bottom here. So you won't write in this line. All this does, by the way, and the reason why I've put it, not why it's in red, but why there's so many, is if you are running a special promotion, this is where you're going to put it, a promotion that you want to track. So you want to see which Easter promo did best, which Mother's Day promotion did best. This is what you're going to put here. So on this particular day, we only did 1 winter package. Okay. So it tells me that for the whole day, I sold 1 promotion. It's still early days. It's the 1st of May. You can't make any conclusions in the first 2 days. Okay. And the fact that we sold 4 in day 1 is very good. Okay. And have a look here. So we sold 4 promotions in a day where we did, let me just see how many treatments. $21 treatments. Not bad. Okay, 4 promotions out of 21 treatments is not bad. Okay. Then here at the bottom, again, you can choose, like I said to you, this analysis started off very simple. In fact, we only went up to unsold, up to here, up to total spend per client. Then we started adding, let's track our unsold hours. Then we started adding, let's track the how much are we using our beds and our manicure stations or our pedi stations. Now we've started tracking our upsells. Now we've started tracking our promotions. Now another very strong revenue stream is gift voucher sales. So here you have how many you sold. Can you see here in the spa? How many were redeemed in the spa? That's in total, right? External voucher sales. So if you are part of a third-party voucher reseller, you'll put that here. So this particular day, I did 4,000 Rand in vouchers, which is great, okay? And external voucher redemption. I had no voucher redeemed. I only had vouchers sold, okay? If you have an online shop, very important to track what your online shop is doing here. If you're doing complimentary treatments, whether it's for staff, whether it's internal, whether it's to management, it's good to track it. How many and what was its value? If you had to pass any discounts, how many? So I passed 1 discount today, and it was for 400. Okay, you put it in there. Then anything in your business that you want to sell as separate. So, for example, I mean, anything like a Rasul, you've got VR, virtual reality experiences, you sell spa facilities. So it's anything that you sell that you don't actually need a treatment bed or a therapist to do it, okay? But you want to track it because you want to promote it. Then here you put your actual and you set your targets at the beginning of the month. So I've said here, I wanted a minimum of one Rasul target, one Rasul a day, okay? So this particular day we sold one. So great, we're not over, we're not under. VR, I want 5. On this particular day, we sold 1. I'm short of 4. Spa facilities, we had 1 and I sold 1. That makes up all my treatments that I've done. Okay, this is a new thing I've started tracking now as well. Number of clients the therapists have called on that day. Because personalization and relationship building in our businesses has become so important, I've added it to our analysis because I want it to be top of mind every single day. So I've said here the therapist on this particular day called 6 clients, okay? And she booked 0. 0 appointments were booked, which means 0%. The day before, they booked 1 appointment. And remember, the nature of these phone calls is not to book appointments. The nature of the phone calls is, hi, how are you? How are you doing? I see the last time you were here, you had a Rasul. Did you love it? It was so wonderful to have you with us. So it's not a sales call. It is a rapport and relationship building call. Okay. Another thing very important is number of people turned away. Okay. So now I'm going to show you something. Okay. So on this particular day, we turned away 8 people. We had 0 no-shows and we had 0 cancellations. Now, this tells me a very interesting story. 8 people turned away. Okay, so look at this. However, we had 31% unsold hours. What does this tell you? See, now this tells a story, and that is why we have this as metrics that we measure and we analyze every single day. Fran, you're allowed to say, but anybody else, what do you think this tells me? So I showed away 8 people, 8 bookings, yet I had 31% unsold hours. Correct. Okay. That I have some hours with huge demand, and Lena says that I need more therapists. I was just going to say, so I have 2 choices with Francisco's comment. He says I have some hours with huge demand and some others with low demand. So what are my 2 choices? Francisco, what would you do if that were the case? If that, and the day before, you showed away 2 clients. So it seems to be you're showing away quite a bit every day. What would you, there we go. So he's got one of 2 choices, right? He can either get more therapists. Okay, there we go. There's the 2 choices. I can either choose to get another therapist, or I can choose to implement dynamic pricing. What is dynamic pricing? I'll tell you very quickly, but that's for another coaching session, is when you choose to use different prices at different times of day. So the very same way that an airline charges you different prices at different times, in the very same way, lots of people, a hotel accommodation charges you different prices at different times of day. So you are very, very welcome to implement dynamic pricing in your business. It might seem a bit scary at first, but I promise you, it's the way that the industry is going. It has become norm in some spas already around the world. I cannot wait for this to start happening in South Africa, because there's no reason why we can't say, well, from 5 to 8, our prices are X, and from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., our prices are Y. There's absolutely no problem in you doing that. Okay, or you can say from 5 to 8 or from 10 to 4, you enjoy a 30% discount. Great. That means people from 5 to 8 p.m. pay 30% more. So I suppose you would need to see whether you would benefit more. So Francisco, when would you choose to rather employ another therapist than implement dynamic pricing, or anybody? When would you choose in this scenario? So if I go back and I look at my bed occupancy, that should sort of tell me what to do first, sort of. I'm getting a 23% bed occupancy. Should I rather employ another therapist first, or should I rather change my pricing? What do you guys, what does everybody think? Let's see. Gail says change pricing. Interesting. If you could consistently show business away, I would employ a therapist. Change, Michaela says change pricing. Karen says employ another therapist. Okay. So, or a locum. Okay. So I'm going to say employ another therapist because I'm only using 23% of my stations. So if I get another person, I'm going to use more of my stations. But Francisco is not wrong in saying you will only make that decision once you see a week, 2 weeks. Oh my word. And that's why this analysis is so important, because you'll go down here and at the end of the month, look here. So this goes all the way to the end of the month. If you can see that this becomes a trend, another thing, if this is a daily trend, it's telling me outright employ another therapist. If it's a weekend trend, it's telling me employ a locum, somebody that comes in just for those times. Okay, so that's sort of when you're going to, and then you're going, now let's say you get another therapist and you're still showing away people at that particular time, then you're going to implement dynamic pricing. So this is really interesting because it starts making you ask questions and look at other things in your business every single day so that you can make decisions. Why I don't believe in looking at this monthly, because sometimes monthly is too late. You've lost out on an entire 20 or 30 days worth of revenue when you could have made this decision quicker had you just had, I call this have my eye on the ball. You have your eye on the ball every single day. There's a couple of numbers that you look at. Your no-shows are important to look at. What happens if this day I had 10 no-shows? I don't have it. But what story would this tell me? 10 no-shows. And the day before, 4 no-shows. Okay. What do I have to start looking at if this is the case? Anybody? Into the chat box, tell me what you think. What do I have to start looking at if I start getting 10 and 4? Take payment up front. That's one answer. What's another one? Lena also says prepayment. Yep. Aha, well done, Liz. Are we sending reminders? And I firmly believe in a phone call reminder. Okay, not just an email or an SMS reminder, because for me, the phone call allows you to upsell, and it also allows you to build a relationship with a client and help personalize the visit a bit more. Okay, so good. Then I've started tracking rebookings at front desk. Okay, so on this particular day, I did 5 rebookings. So that's pretty good, eh? I had 18 people in. So look at what I look at when I look at this. So 5 rebooked. I go back up to the top. You see, I just start to remember the numbers. And I looked at how many, I don't really look at the hotel guests because they're going to come and go in this particular instance. Okay. I look here. I had 10 day visitors, means 10 locals. I rebooked 5 of them. That is brilliant. It's a 50% rebooking rate. It's excellent. So that again tells me, well done, guys. Your rebooking was excellent today. Number of prescriptions or product recommendations taken. On this particular day, I had 12. That is brilliant. If I did 18 treatments, however, what number do I want to see in here? If it's Marisa looking at your forms, if it's me looking at your sheets, if you've got 18 clients, I want to see 18 there. Yeah, correct. Francisco and Lena hit the nail on the head. I don't want to see 12, but 12 for me is better than nothing. And I carry on like a dog with a bone until I see that this number matches the number of people checked in for treatments. Number of feedback forms received. How many feedback forms should I get? When I say feedback forms, I mean digital. Try and avoid the paper ones. You can do digital ones very easily. Yep, Michaela hit the nail on the head, 100%. So I, on this particular day, got 18 feedback forms, which is amazing. And on this specific day, I got 6 Google reviews, okay, which is great. And this tells me that I got a very wonderful 133% of my feedback forms in and reviews. So it's adding the reviews and the feedback forms. That's why it's gone to 133%. So if I had made this 0, I've got 100% of feedback forms. Okay. So I would love to see Google reviews at 18 and feedback forms at 18. So all of these things, by the way, we've started adding them at the bottom. So as you start thinking of things that are becoming important to your business, and right now, everybody, Google reviews are important. Feedback is important. Prescriptions or recommendations are important, and rebookings are important, because we're wanting to build loyal advocates in our business. Okay. All right, everyone, have you got it? Do I need to go through it again? Did you understand my train of thought? Does it make sense to you? All good, right? Okay, so now just to close off, I want to ask 3 people that are on here, but I'll ask them one at a time. That I know, so I'm going to stop sharing now, that I know are using this form, okay? I want to ask them to just unmute. If they're able to show us their face, great. And I want to ask them a few questions. So maybe, Michaela, can I start with you? If you're available.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
You.
Good. So, Michaela, the question I want to ask you is, you've been a manager for a while now at a few different venues. How long have you been using this specific form for? In other words, how many of the businesses that you worked at?
That's the first business that I'm working with that uses weekly analysis.
Okay, so now if you have to think back at when you were a manager somewhere else, didn't use the form, and now you do use the form, do you feel that there's value to it? Do you feel it's a pain in the butt for you to do and to check? How do you feel about it?
No, it's absolutely necessary, because it also helps your front desk to track how they can push the team for the next day as well. Yeah, it's definitely beneficial to the business. I can't believe I haven't worked with it previously, because it's definitely needed in every single business.
Okay, and I like something that you said. You said it helps the front desk. Does that mean that your front desk team are enabled to fill this form in?
Yeah, every single one. So whoever is closing at night, they fill in the monthly analysis and they send the feedback onto the group where all the team members are.
Okay, so you
all
see
team
everybody. Brilliant. So you see everybody, when I said that you've got to take away the excuses of not filling it in. So Michaela sorted that excuse out. She's empowered her team to fill in that form. So, and I love that, because now not only one person is in control of the information on that sheet. Yes, she ultimately makes the decisions and sails her ship, right? But other people know how it works and what decisions are made from there. So nice. Thanks, Michaela. Thank you.
Thanks.
Good. Okay, Lena, are you there?
I'm here.
Hello, dear. How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, good. Okay, so Lena, tell us how you feel about this form.
It is a very great tool, Marisa. I know when I started initially, it was a pain in the butt, but once you get the hang of it, it makes your job easy. It makes you focus, and it really helps you build the business.
Okay, Lena, does it overwhelm you sometimes, or do you choose what it is you're going to focus on a specific day? I just want to know, like, what happens if the whole form comes back and it's, oh my word, how do you handle that?
I choose what I want to focus on.
Okay, so you don't get overwhelmed.
No, I don't.
Okay, super. Thank you, Lena. Thanks for that.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks. And Francisco, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, so Fran, tell us how you feel about this form and who does it now for you, or is it still you? Tell us a bit about your experience with it.
So I've been doing the form in the various versions of it for about, I think now 12, 13 years somewhere. So everywhere I go, I carry it with and I implement it, I format it. It sounds overwhelming at the beginning, but the more you do it, the better you become at it, and the more information you can extract. So obviously you're asking all these questions because I've been doing it for so easy for me. It's just to read, spit out all the information, right? But it's not the information only. It's how, what do I change to make it better? So it's not just a, well, 30%, 20%, whatever that is. It is what can you do now to fix tomorrow? Or what can you do now this week to fix for next week? Or what can you do after you finish this whole month or 2 months or 3 months? You gather all this data. And then now and remember, when you've been doing it for 2 years, now you have historical data. So now if you start from scratch, it's blank. It doesn't really have much purpose. But once you start doing it for 2, 3, 4 months, you start comparing month on month, and then you can start realizing if it's a trend, if it's not a trend. So it's very, very, very valuable. And like my colleagues were saying, like, I can't believe we work without it. Like I can't imagine it anymore.
Okay, nice. So one question. How long would you wait before you make a decision when you pinpoint something on that analysis? So let's say your retail ratio is at 5%. 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 9. It goes like that.
Yeah.
How long do you wait before you do something?
So it depends on what your target that you set up, right? So obviously, if you set that up at 30 and then you're becoming, I will first look at myself, like how do I have equipped my team properly to actually perform at 30%? Obviously, if they are equipped, then where's the issue? So it's either whatever, I do have enough product and all those other things. So I wouldn't wait more than 2 weeks. Okay. If you see consistently the trend is stagnant, it's 5 and 3 and 5 and 3 and 5, like what's going on? Because you can, there's always, otherwise you don't have enough sort of meat in it to actually analyze properly, and then you can just jump off to conclusions quickly, but no more than 2 weeks. If it's actually it's a massive red flag, I will not wait more than 2 weeks.
Okay. All right. Nice. Okay, Fran. Thank you. And also thank you to you and to Anna and now Isabella for adding. The three of them have really been unbelievable in adding meat. Every time I send them the analysis, it comes back changed with more meat. I'm not a numbers and figures person, but I often phone them. I go, hey guys, I want to track this. Please help me. Just sort it out. Put it on the tracker. And then they get it done. So thank you to the three of you for always building on it and making that sheet so unbelievable. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Any questions? Or was that good? Clear? Does it make sense? What I hope I've left you with today is the message that I have, and that is that we have to analyze our numbers daily. And you can see it wasn't a lot. Okay, the first time you do this, it's going to take you an hour. I can tell you now, it takes our teams 5, maximum 10 minutes to populate this sheet. Okay, so I really want you all to get your heads around this. And this is the kind of stuff that changes businesses, that changes teams when they can see, oh my word, look at this, we're tracking this. Okay, look what Francisco said, do it daily, please. If you leave it a couple of days, it becomes too daunting to complete. And he's 100% right. Going back is a pain in the butt. Rather have a little pain in the butt and do it every single day and know exactly how to steer your ship and run your business. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you all have a fantastic afternoon and weekend. And then I'm going to see you in 2 weeks. So you all asked for this session, and you also asked for the DISC session, how to read the DISC assessment, how to make sure that you're putting the right people in the team. When you're hiring, how do you look for the right personality to put into your team? So I'm going to do that at our next session. Oh, there's Matthew saying hello to me. Hi, Matthew. Sweet. He's also come to learn about the daily analysis. Good boy. Okay, divine, everybody. So I'll see you in 2 weeks' time, where I'm going to do a bit of a DISC dissection and show you how to do that. Thanks, everybody. Chat soon. Love you all. Bye. Ciao, ciao. Bye, Matthew. Bye, Gail. Bye, Liz. Cheers, everybody. Bye, Janae. Pleasure, everybody. Pleasure, pleasure.